Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in this multiverse of YouTube, because we are here to talk about the sequel to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I am here with a motley crew of guys. We've all seen the movie, spoilers galore, so expect that as well. Let me just quickly put my light on here so you can see my lovely face and my lovely Doctor Strange t-shirt here I got going on. All right, first of all, to my left and your right is the evil Doctor Strange. He's evil because he supports Manchester United. He is boss man. How you doing?
I did all right.
Very good, very good. Yes. And beneath me, we have another person when it comes to magic. He's a mage, and it's Major Rage. How you doing?
Doing great. Proud to be here as always.
And in the opposite corner to me right now, we also have my brother from a different mother. I couldn't think of an alternative to another mother. I fucked that up. Cousin Cheeto, how you doing?
How you doing, my brother? I'm glad to be here. Glad to talk about this finally. You guys, I've been gagging to talk about this with people.
Yes, and I have to say, I'm very happy that I only saw one trailer because some of the stuff that was revealed in this movie was apparently in some of the later trailers. So I'm really happy I didn't see any of the trailers. So just as we said, spoilers earlier on, when I saw Peggy Carter as Captain Britain, so to speak, I lost my fucking shit. I thought, my God, there's a live action version of her. Yeah, I mean, obviously, seeing the guy from The Office who played. Sorry.
Say what if?
No, but the actor who played Mr. Fantastic, his name.
Oh,
I did have his name, John Krasinski as well. That was finally like the fans. What the fans wanted was we got, so to speak. I have to give Disney a little bit of credit. We wanted Rosario Dawson, we got her as Ahsoka Tano. We wanted John Krasinski as fucking Mr. Fantastic, we got him. We'll see how this pans out though, because he is an alternative universe version. But that's way ahead into the talking points. This film, in my opinion, we'll talk about how we felt about it, but there was a lot of shit going on in this fucking movie. It was relentless, absolutely relentless. But I'm going to ask your opinions about these films individually. So give me your opinions, and I'll let you know at the end about mine. First of all, Mr. Evil Doctor Strange, what did you think of this sequel?
So I went in. I'd only seen the first trailer, so I didn't know exactly what I was going to get. So all the latest stuff that you're talking about, I didn't really know about. So I was in the IMAX with a recliner seat, so I was in the best possible seat to see it in. So it would cost £28. Fucking rip off purchase, but hey, we'll say that for a different conversation. What I thought was, and it's going to sound like I'm slagging this movie off, but it's a really good movie with really shit elements to it. So it's one of those middle films that there's good bits to it and there's bad bits to it. The good bits to it, in my opinion, are the Sam Raimiism, sort of like harking back to his Evil Dead roots. I mean, there's loads of like shots that remind me of the Evil Dead, like, you know, when like I mean, how spoiler heavy are we going to get in the first bit? If you've not seen
spoilers,
by the way.
It's spoilers all the way.
So the bit when when Buddha dream walks and she sort of see the body, we sort of see like the camera move outside of the thing to look after. I was like, that's very Evil Dead. And then we see like, you know, the dead Doctor Strange's eyes open, like with the other things that come up. That was very like Evil Dead. I was like, and then like the Undead reminded me a lot of like Evil Dead. I was like, it's obvious that Sam Raimi was going, I'm not going to do your Marvel movie. I'm going to do my own movie and just going to put Marvel elements for it. And it's strange that I'm going to say something that you guys are probably going to get. The things that fucked this movie up are the Marvel elements. The fact that the continuity of this is all kind of screwed. Because Doctor Strange remembers the trip. He said that he had to get rid of everybody's memories in order to undo the event. So that kind of pissed me off. And then there was other things where like sort of like why did she wait so long?
Sorry, he made everybody forget that Peter Parker, not Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the conclusion I got. But everyone knows Spider-Man exists.
Yeah, because J. Jonah Jameson was talking about Spider-Man on his whatever podcast thingy.
All right. Well, fair enough. But I mean, there was still like things that are like as I said, like I didn't like the fact that Wanda was the bad guy and that her powers could transfer. It's like, well, the fact is that she unlocked her powers with Fantastic One Division. Why is it that she's so powerful as the other versions of her in? I mean, with Doctor Strange, it makes sense because he's in touch with different versions of himself, and it makes sense. Whereas Wanda being that, the reason she has all these powers is that she read the and she's been reading it in order to get it. The other version of her is happy doing what she's doing, being a mother and all this stuff. But as I said, the Marvel elements in this movie really hampered it. But the really good bits were so awesome that they were actually part of my favorite parts of Marvel ever. Like, I loved the fact that he has the dream walk. I love the fact he has to come back from the dead. I love the fact that he has to tap into that part of himself, but still be a good person. And I like the fact that there's no such thing as fate in this. That even though you can be one thing in other universes, in universe, you're a part of your own fate. I love that, and it was great. As I said, it's it's what I call a Tale of Two Cities film. It's the best of times, it's the worst of times. The best of times are really good. The worst of times, not so good. So yeah, that's what I think. But I'm going to give it a score, which is a 7. There you go.
All right. Before I pass it on to the next person, Bossman, sort your connection out a little bit. You're turning into Max Headroom.
Sorry.
Major Rage. No problem. Maybe close an application or two or something. Major Rage. What's your ramble?
Gary hit on a lot of the stuff that I was going to say. The Sam Raimi elements I felt were really great. Was very reminiscent of Evil Dead. I'm really glad that Disney gave Raimi some leeway when Sony tried to kind of make him make a film he wasn't very interested in making with the third Spider-Man film. I feel that came out really bad. His just lack of passion was apparent all over that film. And you could tell that he was really enjoying this Doctor Strange project. And they gave him the leeway for him to bring the best of what he could to the table. The Bruce Campbell cameo, of course, obligatory, but so glad it was there. I was trying to keep my eyes peeled for the car, but I didn't spy it anywhere. He usually likes to put the car from the Evil Dead in all of his flicks.
Interesting. Okay.
But I didn't expect Wanda being a proper villain. I never got that from the trailers, so that was a pleasant surprise. I feel like it worked very well. Just it stood out. It's a horror movie first and a Marvel movie second, it felt like. That being said, I enjoyed it. I had a fun time all throughout, with the exception of someone talking in the cinema. But you're going to get that with these movies. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it.
All right, Cousin Cheetah, I feel like you're bursting at the seams.
No, I really enjoyed this movie. I feel like see, here's the thing. I'm not big into like the Evil Dead. I'm not big into like, other Sam Raimi movies. So I'm not really from watching this, I'm like, I knew that this is what was going to happen, was the fact that this is why Scott Derrickson left, because Scott Derrickson wanted to make it a proper horror movie. Like, and I don't mind that with Doctor Strange, but what they were trying to do with the Multiverse of Madness, what the studio wanted to do with it, and what Scott Derrickson wanted to do with the next installment of Doctor Strange were two totally different things, I feel. And so that's why I'm kind of glad that Scott Derrickson not backed out, but like stepped aside, because Marvel Studios definitely wanted to build upon the multiverse type thing. And I feel like Scott Derrickson's like, no, but I want to really lean into the multiverse part of it, or I want to really lean into the horror side of Doctor Strange. And I'm glad they did, because it like Mage said, like, I think like Sam Raimi and Spider-Man 3, I felt like if this was directed by Scott Derrickson and it wasn't what he wanted for it, like, because let's be real. Marvel Studios crammed all this stuff in there. Like, they really wanted to have that Illuminati in there because they wanted to give us our Mr. Fantastic. They wanted to give us our Professor Xavier. They wanted to give us all these other things. So I feel like, but I felt like Scott Derrickson would have had a lot of hard times with that because he wanted to do a proper horror film. Now, I feel like in either, like, kind of like Thor Ragnarok reinvented Thor, I feel like in Doctor Strange 3, maybe after the next Avengers movie or whatever, a movie, Secret Wars, whatever comes out, or, Doctor Strange 4, I think they should bring Scott Derrickson back when Doctor Strange maybe can kind of reinvent himself as a character, then lean into the horror aspect of it. But I'm very glad the way that this movie turned out, because it didn't feel like it was conflicting with itself between the director and the studio. And that was what I was really afraid of with this. Like, when they started making the announcements and they talked about it being the Multiverse of Madness, and you could see when Kevin Feige and Scott Derrickson were up on the stage and they were talking about doing this movie, you could see that they were kind of in contention on the direction because, they're saying, oh, but we want it to be a horror film. But we also want, it's going to open up all these new opportunities. And it's like, yeah, I can see the conflict there between the two of them. So I'm really glad this turned out. I would definitely give this a solid 8 out of 10. All the cameos were great. Now, see, I watched all the trailers going into it, and it did not lessen any of the, and I'm not saying you guys should watch the trailer. I'm just saying, like, for me, it didn't lessen any of the surprises or anything like that. I really did enjoy this movie. I took my girlfriend with me. She's a huge Doctor Strange fan because she likes Benedict Cumberbatch. She thought it was very weird. So I usually use her as like my
barometer.
Yeah, my barometer. Yeah, is like, and so I'm kind of wondering because this movie's tracking to make a lot of money for a lot of people going to see it. So I'm kind of interested to see how people feel about this movie that aren't like us, that are just like, we are in this MCU. We are nerds. We do reviews. We dig into it. So great movie. I thought it was really well done, really well paced. I didn't think I'd like America Chavez as much as I did, but I really did like her. And that's only because she's a character I had no idea about until this movie, honest and truly. I mean, I've seen her before in comics, but I've never like known of her. Like I knew she existed, and that's about it. I with all the Benedict Cumberbatch, like Oscar Isaac, Benedict Cumberbatch is a freaking national treasure. Like he can do, you can give him 3 different Doctor Stranges to play with and a dragon, and he can do it. Like, I mean, in the same movie, and it all feels like different, because I mean, we had like 4 versions of Strange technically in this movie. We had ours, we had Defender Strange, we had Evil Strange, and then we had
the one that got killed by Black Bolt.
Yeah, the one that got killed by the way, I just want to point out, I pointed this out to Zam before, and I was after I saw the movie, I was in his words, I was gagging to tell him. But not only a little bit of Star Trek crossover, not only did we get MCU Star Trek crossover with Professor Xavier in the same day, like because Picard came out the same day as Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we also got a double dose of Anson Mount, who plays Christopher Pike, and Black Bolt in the movie. That's 2 big Trek characters in Star Trek and in Doctor Strange on the same day. I'm just saying. And by the way, I love what they did to Black Bolt, not because it's like I know a lot of people are like, oh, they gave him the shaft, but I mean, let's be real, Black Bolt always gets the shaft. I mean, it's
they gave everyone the shaft.
Yeah, I think Black Bolt was the best character to come out of that miniseries, like the only good character to come out of that miniseries, that Inhumans miniseries. So I was glad to see him back, but at the same time, I'm like, oh yeah, he's dead. He's dead. Like, not to ramble on too long, but Wanda, I like you guys. I was like, wow, like they are really going in on this with Wanda. Like, she is the villain. I thought there was going to be some like dream walking Wanda from another universe controlling her or something. No, they went all in on it. Like, and I respect them for it, but I can't love them for it because not that I'm saying it's bad, but I'm just saying like Wanda's character is always one of those that I've been rooting for in the MCU through Age of Ultron, through Endgame, and Infinity War, through WandaVision. I've always been rooting for Wanda because she's been screwed almost the worst out of everybody in this entire MCU. And I mean, I don't blame her for going evil, but at the same time, you kind of want a redemption arc, but at the same time, I don't. Like, I'm so conflicted on Wanda. It's like, oh, she's so good as a villain in this. I'm like, do I really want a redemption arc? I said earlier when we were talking about this, like in WandaVision stuff, I said, God, we are building up for a Wanda villain, and they went in on it. They went in on it, and I don't know if I want her to come back. Like, not back, but like as come back to the good side. Wanda's always that character that just treads the line so much that it's just like
She killed a lot of innocent people in this movie.
Yeah,
You know, like people who are defending their homes. You know, those sorceress apprentices, so to speak. You know, a lot of them got the shaft, all because of her. What are you gonna give the rate? You gave it an 8 out of 10, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna give this film, for me, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I didn't think it was shit, but I wasn't blown away. I think after what we got with Spider-Man No Way Home, which was phenomenal, this was a very hard bar to reach, so to speak. I'm not saying, I did enjoy it. It had some moments, good fan service, all of that. But I do feel there's a difference when I'm watching certain Marvel movies now. Like there's a grade, and when that, we did our tier list, with the original 23 films, and like stuff like Endgame, Infinity Wars, Winter Soldier, Civil War, like a phenomenal movies. No Way Home as well. I'll throw that in there as well. And I just feel that this is like a level below that. Let me quickly get to the comments here. Hello, Daniel Vance. Yeah, so I'm glad you are up, mate. I'm glad you are up. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments.
We kept jumping universes until we found when you were awakened.
Took a lot of work.
We got Gary Chavez over here was jumping universes for us.
I have a different opinion regarding this film because you guys think that Sam Raimi was given leeway. I think he was restrained. Personally,
I know, I do too. I think he was restrained.
There's a lot of horror elements.
This is where I'm just going to disagree with you, because like you've been, I mean, not to talk about other things we were doing, but during Moon Knight, you've been talking about lack of violence. In this, you see eyeballs being gouged out. You see people's arms being sliced off. You see people's you see a desiccated corpse and stuff like that. I mean, like in a bloody Marvel.
My example is
this is pretty.
Peggy Carter was cut in half. We didn't get to see it. We had to think that she got cut in half, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Even if you don't get the blood, I want to see her fucking Darth Mauled. Because Disney's got Darth Maul being cut in half on their fucking streaming service. I want to see fucking Peggy Carter be cut in half by that goddamn shield.
Because you could barely see it in the background. Like, I was yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about, like those particular elements. And it was really weird for me because I don't care who you are. Rocks falling on Captain Marvel shouldn't kill her. I mean, she got knocked into next week by the Power Stone from Thanos. I mean, this is a different version of Captain Marvel, but nevertheless, the same sort of power, by Thanos. If she survived that, she can survive a bunch of rocks falling on top of her as well. Maybe she was knocked out. I might give her the benefit of that, but even that feels a bit wrong. But but I'm now like nitpicking on certain things here regarding the multiverses. We didn't go multiverse hopping in the way I expected it to. Like I thought we'd be jumping from multiverse, like maybe at least 4 or 5 different multiverses. But what we did was like when Chavez was taking Doctor Strange on this multiverse ride, we went for a whole bunch of them before they ended up where they ended up. And then obviously then we ended up in that dark multiverse later on. So a bit surprised about that. I did like the on-off relationship. Some people might not like it, but I very much appreciated the on-off will they won't they relationship between Strange and Claudia Palmer. I thought that was I like that, like it keeps things open, keeps things fresh, and I'm glad there's no happy ending to that, because to a degree, too many guys like Tony Stark, like even Steve Rogers, they get the girl at the end. You know what I mean? So in this particular case, he hasn't. I do like the relationship with American Chavez. She's very likable. I like Benedict Wong was in this a lot more.
Mhm.
You know, he's awesome. I love Benedict Wong, and you know what? Since we've had Phase 4, he's been in the most amount of shit.
Yeah,
I think he's been in 3
he's
films.
our
Hasn't he now?
Agent Coulson from Phase 1.
Yeah, which is awesome. So keep going, Benedict Wong. I want to see you in more stuff. I love Benedict
I
Wong.
love
He's just
I love the fact that he's a sorcerer supreme. I love the
Yeah.
fact that he's you know, Strange is there and Strange is doing his thing, but he's just like, look, I'm the sorcerer supreme. He's like,
Daniel Vaughn says he loved it. I keep wondering if the tower in the snow isn't the same place the X-Men were held up in the variant locations of Days of Future Past. Maybe. If they want to make that work, they'll make it work.
I was about to say
Um,
they just do it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't a big fan. You see, the thing is, I wasn't a big fan of this snowy temple and shit like that. And a fucking couple of fucking abominable snowmen, or sorry, 4 of them were up there and they were bowing to Wanda and shit like that. And I was a palace all along. I'm not sure how I necessarily felt that, but I loved Wanda being the bad guy. I fucking loved it because so often we get popular bad guys becoming anti-heroes, especially within the DC universe, and that shit pisses me off. Can't you remain? I want them to remain bad guys. It's so nice to see a good guy, somebody who's gone through so much trauma, to end up being evil. It's just like, it's not going to happen for this person. They try to be good. It just ain't going to fucking happen. And you know what? Sometimes the best and unfortunately most tragic villains are the ones who go through trauma. You know, it's no fault of their own, but shit, life has dealt them a bad hand. And yeah, go on.
oh, no, you could have finished. I do, however, my one big nitpick is once, you know, Chavez was like, I like, she punched and she's just like, I'm giving you what you wanted, and then put her right in front of the kids. I was like, oh, here we go. So now she's going to realize what monster she's become, and she's going to, you know, redeem or whatever, you know, just not really redeem, but you know what I mean, like, you know, end it herself. Because we get it. Doctor Strange could not beat Scarlet Witch, which he probably shouldn't, because Scarlet Witch is the most powerful. I mean, everyone talks about, like, I was one of the biggest champions in Endgame that said, dude, Wanda could have finished Thanos. Like, she was right there ready to finish. And I know she had kind of like a power unlocking in WandaVision, but even back then, like, Thanos was only able to get as far as he did was because of circumstance. It wasn't because he was the most powerful without the stones. Obviously, he got as far as he did in Endgame because of circumstance. You know, Captain Marvel could have beaten him, but again, Thanos was smart. He used the Power Stone on Captain Marvel. So it's like, but yeah, no, I don't think Doctor Strange could have beaten Wanda at all. I don't even think Strange, Wong, and Chavez could. So I don't see how they could have ended it any other way. But I do. It was very, for me, it was very tropish, where it's like, my kids now see me as or this person now sees me as a monster, and now I have to, you know, wipe the slate, not wipe the slate clean, but I'm just like, I don't know. That part I kind of rolled my eyes at, where I was like, okay, so now she knows she's a monster. I would, if you really wanted to go all in on this, she could have just like wiped those kids out and then say, I'll just move on to the next ones. You know, because it's like the Thanos thing, because in Endgame he even said, you know, he said, I think it was Captain America who said something about, you know, wiping out all, you know, everyone in the universe and starting over, and it's like, you know, it'll be born in blood. And Thanos is like, but they'll never know. And that's kind of what Wanda's attitude was. She's like, I'll move on to the next billion, Tom. He's like, well, how do you feel about, you know, just moving on to the next or whatever? And she'd be like, they'd never know. Like, you know, and then Chavez is like, but they would, blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
I don't know. I think you're being a little bit of a disservice there. Sometimes you need to, it's very hard to know how bad you're being until you get a proper reflection, and the people you're basically trying to help tells you, no, I don't want your help. You know, and you know, if there was anybody who could possibly stop Wanda doing from what she's doing, it would be her own kids. The people she's doing it for.
I think Vision should have. Now, I don't think Vision could have, like, maybe talked her out of it, but I think Vision should have showed up. I really feel like we should have had White Vision come at the end and been like, Wanda, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah.
Isn't that only one cameo too many?
Yes, but I don't see, like, that would have been the way, like, that would have been the way to, or maybe have some, like, Doctor Strange teasing it earlier in the film and be like, no, I've got Wong working on a contingency. Like what was it, Batman? Like in Batman with Superman and Lois. What was that called? In the movie, it was like a contingency plan, but I don't remember what he called it. When Alfred brought Lois in and like talked Superman down.
I know what you mean, but yeah, basically he had a backup plan.
Yeah, like they could have been like, but this is kind of our backup plan is Vision. So Wong would have gone and found, or somebody would have gone and found Vision and then got him there, and then maybe he distracted her. I mean, because Vision is kind of, he's pretty much the only person who could really stand up to Wanda long enough to maybe contain her, and then maybe like they contain her in like a mirror thing like they did with in What If with Killmonger and Ultron. Like just I don't know. I feel like there were other avenues to go rather than the trope of what kind of monster have I become? Oh.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe we could have got a second Wanda.
I think they would do.
Yeah.
But I think what they were going for was like a redemption. I think they were going for a redemption arc. Now I think part of me thinks that this wasn't Sam Raimi. Part of me thinks we want a happy ending. It's like, no, what should have happened is Doctor Strange unlocks like some sort of like ungodly power and Flaming murks the bitch. And then that's what leads us into number 3, where he's got how powerful has he gotten. And maybe he's not the new threat, but he's the new power in the universe, as it were.
Who, Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange,
Bossman's frozen. You're lagging a lot today, Bossman.
Yeah, Bossman, just turn your camera off and just do audio.
Yeah. You still audio,
you are
Bossman.
you're gapping and fuzzy and it's just I would just say
turn the camera off. Yeah.
No, not.
Okay. He'll come back.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Made you be quiet.
Yeah, you've been quiet, man. Anything that stands out for you?
I agree with what you guys are saying about not needing a redemption arc for Wanda. I feel like we have so many redemption arcs in media these days, and it can undo a good hero's fall plot arc, which I feel like we've had a really good hero's fall in the form of Wanda in the MCU. And to a certain extent, a full-blown redemption arc would cheapen that. And I would hate to see that because I'm happy with what they've been doing. We don't get enough heroes falls in modern media.
I agree. I would have got America Chavez to banish her to a fucking multiverse that would be very difficult for her to come back from, and then later on bring her back as like an Avenger type villain, where they all have to get together and because she showed that, in my opinion, of all the MCU characters who are recurring, she's definitely the most powerful.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt about that, and that would have been good in my opinion. Or they could have America Chavez could have ended up being somebody just as powerful as her. Who knows? And that would have even the playing field a little bit. But I was a bit surprised. Not sure if you guys were, that in this universe, or in all universes, Wanda is not a Nexus being. Chavez is. Wanda isn't, and I believe in the comics that she is in the comics. So I was kind of surprised they didn't make that.
I think there's different versions of her in the multiverse. So, I mean,
really,
yeah, in the Ultimates universe,
fair enough.
In the Ultimates universe, she shags her brother. So, I mean, yeah, don't get me started on that.
Game of Thronesy.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
Yeah.
I hate the Ultimate Universe. I think it's
dumb. Yeah.
Yes, Bossman.
Am I better now?
You're much better now.
Okay. I was just going to say the thing that I was annoyed by with this was the Marvel ending where everything had to be neat and in a bow. Instead of, as I said, Doctor Strange getting that that holy book that he spent like that's one thing that annoyed the hell out of me was we spent like what 2/3 of the movie getting that super powerful, good book, and then one movie thing Wonder destroys it. It's like, well, that's pretty pointless then. Why the hell did he spend like the whole thing game trying to get that fucking holy book? Unless it's like I actually thought I was going to get a Kung Fu Panda moment where it's like the power was inside you all the time. I'm like, if you need this, I'm going to flip. But they didn't do that.
They
was
did
like,
do that
so
with American
basically,
Chavez.
plot point was, yeah, but I mean, like as I said, the annoying part of me is that why that book should have gave him some like sort of like powers where he could have at least stood up to Wonder, and I would have at least respected that. And maybe people are starting to get afraid of him in the Marvel universe, in the 73 universe, 613 universe, or what it was
616. And they're the 838, aren't they?
By the way, I am a little bit disappointed in the MCU that they did designate it as 616 because if we're gonna get nitpicky, technically 616 is the comic books universe. So I get it. It doesn't matter, but it's just like when they said 616, like when Mysterio said it in Far From Home, I was like, okay, but he's lying. So whatever, that's a nice little nod. He's lying. It's okay. But then when Christine Palmer said that you're from 616, I'm like, come on, like that is the comic book universe. Give the MCU their own universe designation.
Would stop a lot of nerd nitpicking on the internet if they would just do that.
Freaking nerds on the internet. I mean, I just wanted to touch on a couple of these comments really quick.
Yeah.
I can't help but I don't know if we read this one already, but I can't help but think the dinosaurs we saw falling through the multiverse wasn't Genosha. I thought it would have been more the Savage Land, but maybe that's what you meant. Genosha, did Genosha have dinosaurs?
I think so.
Oh, did they? Okay. Hopefully we're one step closer to Doctor Doom. Hopefully. They really need to knock that casting out of the park.
I hope not.
What?
Now I need to get closer to Doctor Doom. I don't want Doctor Doom just to be a Fantastic Four villain. You know what I mean?
No, I want him to be.
I don't want Marvel to touch Doctor Doom.
You don't want MCU to touch Doctor Doom. Why?
We need quality fucking villains.
Because every time they've done it, they fucked it up. That's why. Yes, I know he is, but every time they've done it, they fucked it up. So
no, that's every time. No, that's Fox. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's Fox. Yeah. Okay, so but I would love because Doctor Doom is also a magic wielder. Like he's like a very powerful magic wielder in the comic book. So I think pairing Doctor Doom and Wanda up would actually be a really big threat. Because think about it. She's a villain now. And then a lot of people say Sokovia is going to turn into Latveria. So couldn't it be like Doctor Doom then weds Scarlet Witch and then it's like King and Queen. And they're like, that would be a nasty duo to have to deal with. And they have their own sovereign country. Like I would definitely go for that.
Who would you play Doctor Doom? I mean, if Fassbender wasn't already fucking Magneto, I'd make him Doctor Doom in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Michael Fassbender, yeah.
But unfortunately, as he's played Magneto, it just feels wrong to make him that. I mean, then again, Chris Evans did play Human Torch, so maybe it wouldn't be too wrong. But I think Fassbender's got more of a. He played Magneto several times now. So, anyways, but yeah, I can't think at the top of my head who would be a good Doctor Doom at this particular moment in time. Let's see what the fucking this Greek ginger's got to say. Agreed. I don't like the MCU is 616. And what else? It'd be more interesting and leave the door open to have a 616 pop up.
They were freaking cartoons in one of the universes they passed through.
Yeah, Savage Land.
He was talking about the dinosaurs when I was talking about that earlier.
Krabkoa had the dinosaurs. I love the Jason Wonder and Doom as hubby and wife. Yep. If Cancelmate turns out he's... Oh, is he? Oh, my God.
I didn't know that.
Not Fassbender. No, man.
No, come on. Can we just have Oscar Isaac do Doctor Doom also?
Okay, make it Johnny Depp.
No. He needs a redemption arc.
Make him
No,
Doctor
Johnny
Doom.
Depp. No, I do not want Johnny Depp as Doctor Doom. God, I would
No.
hate that so much.
You think so? Fair enough. I would love to see him in a villainous role like that. You know, he's not bad. You know, he's not bad at playing like scary guys. See some of the gangster films he's done, man. You know, he can pull it off. All right, but fair enough. Yeah, Doctor Doom for me definitely in the horizon. I would definitely like that. And now we've already had one member of the Fantastic Four in the MCU. It won't be long, but once. Well, I mean, just to jump ahead here, once we got to the Illuminati and Black Bolt got killed, I knew that they were all dead at one particular point. They were all going to get it. You see Fantastic Four fucking turning into spaghetti. You know what I mean? Sorry, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards turning into spaghetti. I thought, fuck me, man, you're doing that to him. You know what I mean? Anyway, he got killed off instantly as well. Like, I couldn't believe it. And, I knew it was just a matter of time, unfortunately, and then all the rest of them got killed off, which was a shame. I like seeing Maria Rambeau playing Captain Marvel. That was a nice little touch.
Yeah, but I
Good to
agree with
see her
you, Sam,
back.
about her death. It's like I kind of rolled my eyes at that too, where I'm like, okay, is she getting back up? Like I was expecting her to explode out of the rubble. Like maybe Wanda start walking away and then her explode out of the rubble and keep going. Because really, if there was anybody in that group that on a cosmic level could compete with Wanda, it was Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau.
Yeah. Maria Rambeau.
Or Maria Rambeau, sorry.
No problem. And we've now seen Professor X die 3 times. Patrick Stewart's Professor X. He's been killed 3 times now. It's like, fuck me, I can't catch a break.
Well, and everybody was not once I was kind of wondering if like a Wolverine would show up or something like that. Like, like if what's his face? If Hugh Jackman was going to show up, like when Wanda was trying to go after Professor Xavier, if like all of a sudden Wolverine was going to show up. I know that would have been a little bit heavy-handed, but I was kind of like, I'd like to see Wanda kill Wolverine. That'd be fun.
Actually, by the way, I can't say this name, but I do know the character of Euron Greyjoy. His name sounds like an Indian food, pilau. But nevertheless, yeah, he would make a very good Doctor Doom. Sometimes you just need somebody who just fits the role, not necessarily a name. And yeah, he could do that. I gotta say, I like seeing Black Bolt.
By the way,
yeah, go on.
By the way, I've got to say that I love that scene because the thing is that in the show, with the one time they have him speak, it doesn't do half the damage that it actually would. Because even with a whisper, he could destroy somebody. And in this, they show that. Like they show him like speak a sentence, and all of a sudden, this guy he literally obliterates Doctor Strange. I mean, like, I agree with that.
I was hoping you could explain something to me, boss man, and maybe you two can explain to me something as well. Why did they kill Doctor Strange in that universe? Because he saved them from Thanos. So why did he have to die? I don't understand.
I think he got too powerful and too dangerous. Because from what they said, that he read the Dark Oath, so he could destroy Thanos.
Well, but you also saw his fingers; they were black like Wanda's. He was corrupted by the Darkhold, so kind of giving us a hint that the only way really out of being corrupted by the Darkhold is to be killed. Is what they were setting up. But he had the black fingers from the Darkhold, so that's why.
I said Wanda, yeah, that was pretty cool. Did did you guys like how it kind of remind? I got the film, the film Carrie. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, like this girl with psychic powers and stuff like that. And then when you see Wanda possessing her doppelganger from that universe, and she's walking through those corridors and stuff, and she's covered in blood and all that sort of shit, it reminded me of Carrie. I'm not sure if you know what I'm on about, Mage.
Mm-hmm. Stephen King horror film.
Oh yeah. I forget the name of that actress who played Carrie in that movie, but when she got when they played that practical joke on her, and then she just started psychically killing everyone. Sorry. Say that again, boss man? Yeah, Sissy Spacek, yeah.
Sissy Spacek.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
but by the way,
Carrie vibes.
the image of her coming through, that gun where she like sort of like rides and climbs, that was very horror movie-esque, where like she has to like put her bones back together again. I was like, oh my god, that is very horror movie-esque. I love that bit.
Oh yeah, where she was crawling
Like, where
through
she's going through the
shards. Oh, yeah. I was like, that's when I kind of knew. That's when I was like, oh, I don't know if she's coming back from this. I don't know why, but like when that moment happened, I'm like, oh, like this shit's getting real. Like it's
Should we have seen Shang-Chi in this film when they were at that at the sorcerer's place in Hong Kong?
He really doesn't have much to do with. I mean, they could have brought him in, but I feel like that would have been one. I feel like that would have been a very heavy-handed. That would have been a Falcon in Ant-Man. You know, like when Falcon was in the Ant-Man movie. Like I felt like that would have been a very heavy-handed cameo. No, I'm okay with him not being there. He's still relatively new. I'm okay with there not being so much. Like the only reason why I wanted Vision to show up was just because obviously he is very important to the kids and Wanda. So you know that, but I mean, Shang-Chi would have been a little bit more of a heavy-handed cameo that we didn't really need.
By the way, the musical fight was very. Daniel Vance adored it. He said it was fracking brilliant. I thought it got better as it went along for sure. Different.
I hate those kind of fights because I always try to figure out how that works, like in a scientific, like I know it's magic, but also magic is just science we don't understand or whatever you want to call it. So it's like I always try to figure out how that works, and I really need to stop doing that because I was sitting there during the fight going, how does that actually work? Like how are they using music to fight each other? And I'm like, sometimes I just have to get out of my own head and just sit back and enjoy the visuals for what they are.
Stephen Strange needs that sling, doesn't he, in order to do any sort of magic? Okay, fair enough. Because one of the things I did like about the film just generally was that there was so much fucking magic in this movie. Like they were pulling out magic out their they were pulling out fucking rabbits out their asses, and I very much appreciate that. If you're gonna do it's like what they did with Captain America: Winter Soldier. Like if you're gonna do a Captain America film, then use that fucking shield. You know, do all the crazy shit you can, which is what they did with the sequel, and that's what they did with this movie too. Like, all right, now he might not be Sorcerer Supreme, but he's an experienced magician now. Let him fucking do his shtick, which I very much appreciated. And talking about things like From What If, because we got an evil version of Doctor Strange in this, we also got a zombie Doctor Strange too. So that was pretty cool. Those deadites coming into him and out of his body, very Evil Dead like. Those are the sort of Evil Dead callbacks we definitely got from this movie, which is understandable why Raimi directed it and stuff like that. You guys okay with zombie Doctor Strange?
I thought it was pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, I mean he was I mean it was Defender Strange, but I mean like
he was an asshole.
Yeah, right? He was an asshole. But yeah, I mean I thought it was okay. I wondered I wondered what those creatures were that were going after him, but I mean I guess they're magic soul hunters, the yada 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 yada. I don't know.
Well, he tells fucking Claudia, you're gonna have to take care of me when I do dream walking. Like how
Claudia.
Is she supposed to
talking
take
about?
Yeah.
What's her first? No, her.
Claudia Palmer.
It's not Claudia Palmer. It's
Christine
Palmer.
Christine, sorry, my bad. My apologies. I keep calling her Claudia.
You called her Claudia. I'm like, what? Who's that?
The whole fucking time. I'm so sorry. Christine Palmer. She had to defend good Doctor Strange once he went into the dream world. Never fucking told her what to do. She just said, "You got to defend me." All of a sudden, she's picking up some fucking urn and putting it. And we're like, how does she know this shit? You know what I mean?
Well, she learned. Actually, that's a callback to the first Doctor Strange movie because that's the item that Doctor Strange, when what's his name? I don't even remember his name. The bad guy of that movie. He walked up and he was like going to go after him. And he's like, stop, like this, and he's like, and Strange holds a cauldron up and he goes, you don't even know how to use that, do you? And he's like, nope, and he throws it at him and runs. So, we know how it works because she grabs one of the candles and she starts shooting it, and all you got to use is fire, and then you can use it as like a cannon. So, but that was a callback to the first movie. But that was hilarious. I loved it, and she probably learned it from Doctor Strange of their universe.
Yeah, Baron Mordo, he still turned out to be an arsehole. It was a shame that we never got to see our Mordo,
Yeah, I
so
thought
to
that
speak.
was he got the shaft in this movie, in my opinion. I thought that he was very shafted.
Yeah. What do you guys think of? Uh, I can never say his name properly. Chiwetel Ejiofor playing Baron Mordo. I'll start with you, boss man. You think he got the shaft? Maybe he should have remained a good guy, or because like just because you're from an alternative universe doesn't mean that you have to be slightly different to who you are um, in the universe we are more familiar with. But regardless, what did you think of what we got from Mordo, boss man?
Well, I love Chiwetel. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
love Chiwetel. He's a great actor.
one of the
To
best.
actually Chiwetel for me, I mean, like whatever performance he's doing, he's doing Shakespeare, and I mean that in the best way possible. He's like giving it gravitas in a way that, like even the like stuff like Firefly and was it Serenity, where he like played like an assassin. The lines he says are amazing, and in this he's easily one of the best part of it. Like as Mordo was like, he's like he's almost like he's doing like a Shakespeare like something out of Macbeth. He's like, "Oh, my friend, it's good to see you again," and I can understand why people don't like you and stuff like that. It's like, can you just do an audio book to until I love him in everything, and he was so good in this. It's so good to have him back again. Well, I don't know what you guys thought.
Hey, have you seen the movie Four Brothers with Mark
Yeah,
Wahlberg?
yeah,
You've seen that? I love him in that fucking movie because he's showing range. He's playing a fucking street gangster, American style. Fucking hell, man! I love it. He's such a great actor. Mage, what did you think of Mordo and the lack of him? And actually, not even the original Mordo. We got a fucking variant.
That whole betrayal, if you want to call it that, it seemed to come out of left field, and it seemed a little arbitrary. It seemed like it was just an excuse to get him in front of the Illuminati,
Mm-hmm.
do our cameos, have our fan service, and I them getting taken out so quick, the Illuminati, it was a little disappointing. I would have liked to seen more out of them. They've got everybody there, paid them all the money, maybe use them a little bit more. But the whole Mordo thing felt arbitrary to me. I'm not super familiar with the character, so maybe you guys, maybe it makes more sense having more context.
Well, he's the only person from the Illuminati who's left alive. By the way, they're all dead except for him. So we're gonna have probably Mordo and Mordo tag teaming in Doctor Strange 3. One of them wants revenge for his crew being killed. Probably blame Strange for it, even though he's got nothing to do with it. Or maybe because Wanda came from his universe, so he'll probably blame him for that. But yeah, that it is interesting where they go with that now. But personally, I was a bit disappointed that we didn't get more of him. But I guess it's very hard. I mean, to fit all of this in one movie. This is why, in my opinion, TV shows are the way to go. In my opinion, because you can flesh shit out a lot more. It's hard to flesh so much out in one movie. It really is. I mean, you felt the pace of this movie. It was relentless, just under 2 hours. Maybe it should have been just over 2 hours. But you felt the pace of this film because they had to do this, that, the other. They couldn't stop to take a breath for a minute because so much needed to be done in this film. And that's a detriment to movies nowadays because especially something like in like MCU films where they have to ram so much in a short space of time. It's amazing that Spider-Man No Way Home was as good as it was, considering what they had to ram in with all the fucking characters. And somehow this one, as good as it is, it wasn't on the same level as that, but it did a decent job, nevertheless. I'm going to talk about Evil Doctor Strange now. Is that the story? Sorry, mate, go on.
Yeah, I just I agree with Ginger that Mordo was very weak. Here's how I would have done it. I would have kept I would have still done the betrayal because Mordo Mordo took him, needed to get him in front of the Illuminati, but I still would have made Mordo a good guy and definitely not as much of a dick. And I would have had Mordo continue with them and with Christine Palmer and him. But in the either the mid or post credit, I didn't like the mid credit scene. Once we get to that, we can talk more about that.
Yeah.
But like in the mid credit scene, what I would have done is I would have had Mordo come to the 616, well, MCU. I would have had them come to the MCU. That Mordo come to the MCU, but then his actual version in that MCU kills him in the mid credit scene. Like
that would have been good. That would have been really good.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen that. I would love to see Mordo being killed by Mordo.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome.
So that's how I thought about that after the movie was over, and I'm like, oh, that would have been so good. Like it would have also established that that, and as I said, Mordo didn't like that the variant Mordo didn't have to stay. He was just there, maybe I don't know, helping do something or whatever. And then he goes around the corner and he thinks he's talking to Doctor Strange, and then all of a sudden Mordo's standing there, and he walks around that Mordo walks around the corner, he just stabs him, and he's just like, too many magicians or whatever he wants, whatever clever line that he comes out with, because I'm sure he would be more clever than I would. I love him as Mordo. I love the actor. I can never say his name, but he is a great actor. I love him. But yeah, I was like, oh, so much, like it was so weak. That's such a perfect word for it, because it's just like
Chital Ejiofor.
Huh?
Chital Ejiofor.
Yeah, I can't say that. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Zam, go ahead. Talk about evil Doctor Strange.
Okay. I'm very happy that the universe that they were in wasn't our universe. It was another. They went to another parallel universe, and this time Doctor Strange has fucked with it so much that there's black goo everywhere, and buildings are falling apart and stuff like that. This particular one's got a black hole, hasn't he? And they needed that. To stop Wanda, but I did like the fight scenes between the two of them. This guy had a third eye as well, because he's been doing too much of the dark arts, and doing too much of the dark arts gives you a third eye. I just want to quickly ask, did Doctor Strange from What If end up getting a third eye when he was sucking up all those demons?
I think so.
I know he mutated at one point once he saved Christine from dying, but
I'm trying. I can't remember what the name of the eye is, though. Is it the Eye of Ashanti? But I thought the
I keep
book
thinking
of Ashanti,
the Eye of Omoto or some shit like that.
no, the Eye of Agamotto was the Time Stone.
Oh yes.
So yes. I know that the book of Ashanti, but I think the eye has something to do with the Ashanti too. But in this movie, they made it seem like it was a part of the Darkhold, because remember, he was using the Darkhold in that destroyed universe to do his thing. So that's where he got the third eye from, was that he used the Darkhold. Now Wanda didn't get a third eye, so I don't know what's up with that, but they made it seem like when you're using the Darkhold, you get the third eye. So I don't know as I said, I don't know the lore behind that, and I'll probably do my research, and it sounds stupid, but they made it seem in the context of this movie that he got the third eye from using the Darkhold at the end of the movie.
Daniel Barnes said they recently swapped dates for the Marvels and Ant-Man Quantumania.
Sorry, I'm more excited for Ant-Man Quantumania anyway.
I'm looking forward to both. I just don't know where the Marvels is going with its movie though. That's the only thing. Maybe the Kree, I don't know. But one thing I thought we might get in this film, which we didn't get at all, was Kang. He wasn't in this movie, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I don't want him to be what concerns me is that we all know he's going to be in Ant-Man 3. Great. I don't want him to be a one and done. You know what I mean? I really am worried about him being a one and done. And
I think that Kang in Quantumania is just going to be a variant of Kang. Like, even if he is a one and done, it's going to be a one and done of that variant. Like, I think by the end of this, we're going to see tons of variants of Kangs. But I agree with you. Like, I feel like we should have had some kind of small Easter egg for Kang and Moon Knight. Like, we don't need Kang showing up, but a mention, or because they need to sprinkle Kang through all of this in little bits and pieces. I'm not asking for fight scenes with Kang yet, but I'm like, there you have the Egyptian, the Rama Tut, I think is what his name is in the Egyptian time. Like there's perfect opportunity for a mention, or even just a stupid statue in the background that looks like him. And then there, instead of Alexander the Great's tomb, that could have been Kang's, like, Rama Tut, the version of Kang's tomb. And in this one, like, you've got a multiverse. Like, there could have just been a name drop of Kang. Be like, oh, instead of Thanos, like, oh, well, Doctor Strange used the Darkhold to defeat Kang the Conqueror. And Doctor Strange's like, who's Kang the Conqueror? And he doesn't get much of an explanation, but still, it's like, the name drop. That's what's important. Go ahead, Mage.
Yeah, no, they did such a great job of the sprinkling in to gradually build up Thanos and make him feel like a threat before they even showed him on the screen. They could be easily doing this with Kang the Conqueror, and he is too big and important a villain to just be used for a one and done. So I think we will see lots of him.
What concerns me, Mage, is that after the end of Loki and the way it ended, it looked like, okay, shit's going down with all these branches of multiverses connecting. And I'm not sure if I felt, I mean, that was about a year ago now. And I'm not sure since then I have felt anything like that. Even with this movie, I'm not sure if I felt the consequences of what happened at the end of Loki affecting everything else at this moment in time. I don't know. It feels a bit weird. So, but I want to start seeing Kang in various formats. I mean, they need to pull this off, in my opinion.
Yeah, I believe didn't we see when they were universe hopping that we saw the Living Tribunal, like really quick, really briefly?
We did?
I think so. The Living Tribunal, the thing with the head,
the floating heads.
Yeah, it's like 3 heads and it's floating. I'm pretty sure he was in there. Like, it was just a quick pan through when they were jumping to go to the Illuminati verse. I'm going to call it the Illuminati verse. I don't care. But maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that there was an actual pit, like they actually traveled by the Living Tribunal as they traveled. So
I wish they went to Earth 619 and we got Rey Mysterio coming in. with a fucking...
Everybody wears Rey Mysterio masks.
And they go, booyaka, bitch. And he's like fucking flying in there. But yeah, jokes aside, wanted a bit more multiverse out of this. Going on to the mid-credit scene now, because honestly, the scene with Evil Dr. Strange wasn't that great. And it did lead up to the end fight. And actually, before we go to the mid-credit scene, what happened to Wanda after she kind of like came to a realization that she's overstepped the mark? She kind of destroyed all the Darkholds from every universe, correct?
I think she destroyed the Darkhold in every universe. Yes, I think that's what Strange said.
And she was being... I don't think she's dead. There's no way you're killing her off.
Yeah, there was like a burst of energy like after everything was collapsing. So I mean, who knows? It
Exactly. Let's see what Daniel Vance has got to say. We did see the Living Tribunal right at the start of the trip. Okay, fair enough. And it'd be nice to see them going into that paint universe and the cartoon universe, and the ones where fucking his face looks like a Rubik's cube. You know what I mean?
Universe.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to spend some time in those other universes. But okay, so Wanda probably not dead. We probably won't see her for a couple of years now, I guess. At least
I would assume.
Yeah, but we need to see Vision.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
No, I like your theory, Zam. I would not mind Vision showing up in Armor Wars, like, because just like dealing with all of Tony Stark's leftovers, like, and technically Vision is kind of a leftover of Tony Stark-ish Avengers thing, but still
he's still Jarvis in there, in my opinion. And I tweeted to John Cheadle, listen, mate. By the way, that's if anyone doesn't know, Boss Man's favorite actor is Don Cheadle, and I tweeted Don Cheadle, and I told him, listen, when you put that suit back on, your War Machine suit, please have Friday as your personal AI in that suit. Like you took it from Tony's Iron Man suit and you put it into your suit. I want him to have that communication with the AI. I think that's fundamental. And then maybe we could have a moment where he somehow uses Friday to communicate with Jarvis. You know, go, I was, we're the same and all that sort of shit. That would be pretty cool if they could pull something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Don Cheadle dealing with that. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But that's not coming out until when? I have no idea. Maybe 2023 now.
Well, I mean, I think they're starting principal photography, and I think they're filming right now for that one. I know Secret Invasion is either currently filming or wrapped.
Is it Secret Invasion or Secret Wars?
Secret War? Wait, the movie? Oh no, Secret Invasion is the show. It's Secret Invasion. It's the one with Nick Fury and
Are they doing both?
Maybe. We don't know if they're even doing Secret Wars, but we know they're doing Secret Invasion. That's got Nick Fury in it. That's probably going to have Monica Rambeau. Monica? Right?
Monica Rambeau, who's Maria's daughter.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of Talon, who was the Skrull guy that, was at the end of Far From Home, and the one that was in Captain Marvel that was the good Skrull and everything like that. So, I'm trying to think. Ms. Marvel's coming out. She-Hulk. That's another one that's coming out. But
She-Hulk. But as I said, I'm just hoping that Marvel can cut the apron strings off a little bit more than they are doing, because as I said, the things that ruined this movie for me were the Marvelisms. Everything else was amazingly good.
Mate, they're gonna have Marvelisms, for fuck's sake. You got Peggy Carter thinks you can do this shit all day. The Marvelisms
I like that.
To stay. Oh, you like that Marvelism? Okay.
No, I like the callbacks, but I don't like the fact that they're just like we've got to wrap up things in a neat little blow. Things should be complicated.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you think American Chavez? I mean, what's going to happen to her now?
Well, she started her magic training, so I'm sure she'll show up again.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, when and where and are we done with the global threats for a little while? I mean, what are the next films on the horizon? Thor, Love and Thunder. That's a global threat, isn't it?
I don't think that's going to be like a Earth threat, though. I don't.
No, but a universal threat, like it's going to affect the universe. So that's a big one.
I'm trying to look it up.
Quantumania, probably not a world or universal threat. It'll have ramifications though, because
I think that's good. I mean, when you got Kang the Conqueror, it's going to be a threat, man.
Well, that's what I say. I think he's going to be a threat, but I don't think there's going to be like global or universal threats. Fantastic Four is still on the docket. The Black Panther movie is Black Panther 2 they're filming, but I feel like that movie's just going to be a lot of cleanup from recent years, which unfortunately between Chadwick Boseman and Christina Wright, is that her name? The sister? Like with Chadwick Boseman's passing and Wright's just she's really making a really bad situation for herself when it comes to her and Marvel. So,
she's kind of anti-masking, isn't she?
She's anti-vax.
Oh, anti-vax, okay.
And she's been very public about it.
God. And a lot of people who are working on the set with her aren't very happy.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not going to get into that debate here. I'm just saying, she's making a lot. This is what your workplace wants from you. So this is, you either do it or you don't. And she's standing by it. And she's making a lot of people upset with her. So
look, some of these actors and actresses need to know that they got a good thing going here. Why would you want to fuck it up? Look at Gina Carano. I mean, she couldn't help herself. She thought she was going to be whatever the fuck she was in Star Wars for life. She kept fucking up, kept saying stupid anti-trans shit, and now she's fucking making Ben Shapiro movies. I'm sure she's fucking not regretting a goddamn fucking thing. You know what I mean? So,
look at Ezra Miller. He's doing everything that he can to make DC recast the Flash.
They're going to recast him, dude. There's no. They're going to let the dust settle on this, but he's not coming back. In my opinion, they could easily, with him fucking around with the timeline so much, they could make it a plausible thing that when he finally returns back to his time, he's turned into Grant Gustin, and I have no problem with that, man. You know, I have no with Grant Gustin for 8 years. He kept his nose clean, making 23 episodes a year of The Flash. This is
That's
who
why I
he
kept
is.
his nose clean, because that's all he's doing is filming those episodes.
Yeah, I guess so. But it warrants him being the Flash in the movies, in my opinion. I mean, for fuck's sake, they had to shoehorn Ezra Miller in on the TV show. That's how good the TV show's been, and probably the best thing to come out of the CW television universe of DC. So, all right. So, anything more to say, fellas, regarding this? We've been jumping around. We've all very much appreciated 7 and 8s all around. We kind of liked it. We've had given our opinions.
I can't wait until the groups that we don't like, Fandom Menaces, all those sort of lot, see it, because not only does it have Hispanic people in it, he has a lesbian couple being her parents.
Oh yeah, I knew, Boss Man. The moment we saw that lesbian couple, that Geeks and Gamers, the Quartering, and all these fucking dickheads, they were going to lose their shit over that because somehow.
But here's the thing, though, is that I mean, we give them all this attention, like not we, but like that's the problem is that they do this, and I'm sure they believe this, but it's just like that's why it's almost like if you feed them, they keep coming back, and it's almost like I wonder if we ignore them if they'll just go away. But the problem is like there's enough bigots out there that are just gonna sit there and trash on inclusion and diversity and everything like that. That it's just like. We almost have to fight back in order to.
Well, the existence of Lila in Moon Knight was a big deal for some of these cunts because she wasn't a damsel in distress, and so that's how they want their women. They want their women to be damsels in distress, straight, or maybe bisexual if it works for them in a particular way, and probably white as well, maybe a bit stupid too. Throw that in there, I mean, but they can't outsmart the man ever.
Well, I mean, we had the discussion with Ginger about, like he doesn't like the character. He doesn't mind the actress. He doesn't like the character because they're merging two characters together and stuff like that. And I understand that. And that does bug me in some instances. But yeah, where they're just like, oh, she's a woman that's fighting guys. It's like, yeah, like she can. Like she looks badass doing it. I like Layla. I don't have any Moon Knight knowledge. So that's why it's like, I took the whole show as a grain of salt, and I really liked her.
I'm totally fine with this, because I don't know fuck all about the character, and they're using more and more fringe comic book characters nowadays. I'm fine with the compromises. I really am. Mm-hmm. As long as the show's good, that's all that really matters, and it was a good show. So more to come. So what's next on the Marvel smorgasbord? Is it Ms. Marvel?
Actually, one last thing I wanted to throw in there as a disappointment. I just remembered it. Who else wanted to see Deadpool on that Illuminati panel? I mean, come on. Like, I wanted Deadpool sitting in one of those chairs. Like, the perfect character. They have Ryan Reynolds. Like, they could have introduced Deadpool in this.
How'd you get in here?
Yeah. He's just like sitting there like, y'all go fight Wanda. I'm gonna hang out here.
I don't know. I mean, if they Deadpooled him, if they put Deadpool in there, they could have maybe used a more straight edge Deadpool, different personality. But then I'm not sure how people would have felt about that he's not the wacky Deadpool. But it's going to be very interesting how they get Deadpool. I mean, it's almost like you want him, but you're worried how they can make it work in this universe.
Deadpool just needs to be a Nexus being. There's only one of them, and he's just he can transverse a multiverse.
I'd go with that. I'd definitely go with that for sure. So Ms. Marvel is next on the Marvel smorgasbord, and then when it comes to the movies, it is for Love and Thunder,
or Plunder, depending on which Thor.
Exactly. So we're kind of getting a bit spoiled. When's Thor's coming out? Is it in June?
July.
July.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
ours
Fair
in
enough.
July.
So yeah,
Fan,
go on.
I'm looking forward to Shazam, and I'm looking forward to the new DC TV show. Please
Oh
make
yeah,
it good.
we are
Please,
looking forward to the DC. Don't worry.
please make the
What
please
DC?
make the
What
Green
DC show?
the Green Lantern show that they're doing.
Oh, who they got cast as Green Lantern?
Well,
Well, they got Guy Gardner, and they got no. This is a live action.
Oh, I didn't know
Is
they
it,
actually
they're
started working
doing
on
John
that.
Stewart Green Lantern, yeah?
No, they're doing Guy Gardner, and they're doing Kal Rayner.
Okay.
Please make it good, please.
If it's HBO and it's part of the overall universe, you can, it might hopefully will be good. It'll be interesting how they panel that out. And once again, HBO.
You could do the flaming. You could do the Green Lantern Corps War. For God's sake. Sorry.
I guess. I mean, Warner Brothers has been sold to Discovery, and they want to make a DCEU like Marvel, and they're looking for that Kevin Feige guy to do it. Like Kevin Feige's growing trees. Honestly, they might need a couple of heads on this one, like a comic book nerd and a producer. I mean, if you can't get both, then get two.
All they have to do is get one of Kevin Feige's hats and then bury it, and then a Kevin Feige will grow.
Yeah, for sure. Or they can clone him and then make him, make the clone like digestic.
I was say they got to get a soon for that.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, I think we're done here.
The only thing we have is just coming up later on today. We have a live fan film reaction of a debuting Star Trek fan film later on. So if any Trekkies that are watching want to join us for that, we might be interviewing the director, creator, writer Frank. He's been here on the channel many times. We love him to death. But this is his fan film coming out, and so we decided to do a live watch along. So, and then just do some panel stuff afterwards. So if anyone is, if Daniel Vance, if this is a universe, we will be up at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what Daniel Vance is UK, right? So it'd be like
Daniel Vance is America. He's America.
Is he?
Okay.
Fuck
yeah. And okay. I'll just quickly read some of his comments here. I'm go eager. I think he meant so eager for She-Hulk. Tatiana is such a great actress, especially at playing variants, Orphan Black. Okay, you can fill a book with articles that read actors want to join MCU. What actors doesn't want a multiple paycheck? Well, I think what it is that they end up becoming too big for their boots, but they don't realize now. Like even the movies and stuff like that, it's becoming like the WWE. There's not many places to go. You know what I mean? And if you get blacklisted by who's
the one person who just basically chastised Marvel? Was it who just some publicly came out and chastised Marvel, kind of like
we're talking that movie director,
not Christy Alley,
Scorsese.
No, she pulled a Scorsese. Jamie Lee Curtis. She came out and she was basically blasting Marvel because she was in the movie Something Somewhere Somewhat Bullshit Everywhere or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, but
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis came out and said some nasty stuff about Marvel, basically not getting her. She basically said we did the same thing that Doctor Strange did, but on a lower budget.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is sorted for life anyway. Okay, so she's in that Multiverse movie, which I am going to see with Deborah Yo. Sorry, is it Deborah Yo? Michelle Yeoh. Yeah. So and I got a fan film of me watching a movie with her and Cynthia Rothrock in the action scene that'll be coming on the tube soon. There'll be many Green Lanterns. They're doing basically an anthology of Earth Lanterns. Fair enough. And he's from Ohio. He's from the same part of the world you are from. So
I don't know why I thought he was from Europe. From Europe. I don't know. Okay,
because he's smart. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so anyway,
well, he's not from Manchester, obviously. So.
Well, I'm moving soon anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. Well, listen, guys. It's been fun. A lot of fun talking about this. we're going to be back on Thursday for a review, I believe.
Yeah, because I think Wednesday there's nothing Marvel or Star Wars coming out, so we'll just be back on Thursday for Strange New Worlds. And I mean, obviously, some of our pre-record, we have fan film reactions coming out on Tuesday. Monday, we have me and Mage and Bearded did a Final Fantasy trivia thing where we did trivia live, so that's going to be coming out. Like you can see what questions we got right and wrong. Just testing our knowledge as nerds do. Wednesday, we may throw something on there. I don't know. We try to keep at least one thing at least every day or every other day or something like that. Thursday will be Strange New Worlds. Friday, I think, Zam, you have another food review coming out.
I got food reviews and film reaction reviews.
Yeah,
film scene reactions as well, which I like to do whenever I get a chance. So there'll be all this sort of stuff coming out. But regarding what's coming out on the on the pop culture playlist, next will be Strange New Worlds. And if anything else pops up between now and then, like trailers and shit like that, or particular news, maybe Ezra Miller has committed another crime, you'll fucking hear it first here on NerdTube. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye to all my fellow friends here. Evil Doctor Strange. Hope you become good Doctor Strange and sort your lag out.
All right, thank you. See you later. Well, hopefully when I move houses, I will.
Yeah, no problem. Major Ray, thank you very much for joining us for something outside of Final Fantasy and Star Trek.
Always proud to be here, guys.
Thank you very much. And Cousin Cheeto, I can't wait to get back with you and Mage for some Strange New World, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. Let's hope it can maintain that standard. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye-bye.